everyone, welcome to Top Deck Heroes.
Welcome to Hughes' Basement. Yay!
Yay! Good internets.
I brought them here because their internet sucks.
Time Warner, what do you expect?
So what do we got tonight, guys?
So, in the news, last weekend there was a PTC in fabulous Las Vegas.
I hope this PTC is just like the 2K in terms of whatever every Vegas local is playing, because it was exciting and it was the same.
Well, if everyone's playing the same thing at the 2K, then the winner of the event will have a definite edge, playing Alice. And for those of us who play UFS ever, or who played UFS ever back in the old days, Alice's whole thing, her best thing, in my opinion, is guessing what's in your opponent's hand and making those options super
by
bad.
far. That's what you sign up for. You sign up with Alice, is guessing what's going on and screwing your opponent over for being predictable.
You know, I wonder if he ever faced an infinite loop Zoe deck and made that Zoe cry.
Oh man,
That would have been so bad.
can't possibly lose.
I'm going to name additional knowledge.
Yeah. GG machine gun. So anyway, that's that. We're gonna talk about that. If we didn't already just finish talking about that, I don't know. And we're also gonna talk about some Indian spoilers.
The best spoilers.
They're all right.
They're awesome.
So, but before we move on from that, I saw on the forums that Garrett Brett kind of called everybody at the Las Vegas PTC out.
You know, I think he started a really good conversation about getting out of your comfort zone and playing something new, and kind of
Like he's got room to talk. He's been playing Navus up smash. He won twice Worlds.
Four Ryuji Kyaku, 4 Templar, 4 Dodge, 4 Navos.
I wonder if he just wanted
Or
someone to
Soba
call him out on that.
Guys, don't forget 4 Zoba Freak.
Soba Freak, card OP.
That's like a $5 common, right?
So no.
Who else has ever registered a deck with Zoba Freak in it?
Probably his butler.
Neckers?
Probably his butler.
Nah, man.
You've registered a deck with Soba Freak before.
I
Don't
have?
lie. Yes.
Yeah, like
You copied the deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, a local. I don't think Kevin's registered Soba Freak at a major. Most people can't really net deck Garrett because, as much as I hate to say it, Garrett still plays on a level completely different than pretty much the entire rest of the community.
And well, when you play a Garrett deck, if it's like a Garrett deck where it's like a do-nothing control deck, then you kind of have to learn how to play kind of more like Garrett when you wait until you have 35 foundations to your opponent's 20 foundations before you try to kill them.
I wonder what the new Wallbuster mechanic is going to do to Garrett's plan. It seems like, especially playing Air, none of the effects I've seen so far are so devastating that Garrett just can't stand that plan playing 8-hand size, my favorite character from my favorite license, Jiffany Jamper.
Stun 10, pardon me, that can kind of get in there. I think that might be enough to bust down an Air Wall. If you play a Firewall deck or a Death Wall deck that has Celestial Being or a Life Wall deck that can revoke it, I think that might be a little bit less cut and dried.
Fair enough. I mean, he's just going to dodge it anyhow. Whatever move you're trying to push through, he's just going to dodge.
It's really the follow-up is where that, like, you stun 8 them, you stun 10 them with Robot Masters, you know, we've talked about this. Then the follow-up's really where you get in there. That's where your payoff is.
He's going to dodge that one, too.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you've ever played Dodge, but it's not that good.
It's not that good if there's 2 in your hand and your opponent decides not to attack, even at 8-hand size.
Well, I'm not upset about that. Like, they're not attacking me. I've still built 5. That's fine with me. But you can't dodge everything. And like dodging and checking a 2 is just the worst thing that's ever happened to anyone.
Yup. That's why I stopped playing them.
Well, you should have.
Turns out it's really good.
Yep.
It's one back-to-back. So, I mean, the rest of the top 8 I didn't find really terribly shocking.
I told Brett Hillman to play Merciless Master in his Dimitri deck, and he did not like it. It did not treat him well. But apparently he has a very poor record against the Alice player. He's 0-2 lifetime, and he was vanquished by the Alice player. I don't know how I feel about Dimitri versus low spam decks in general. Like, I think that Alice deck it might be favored against Dimitri in general. I think he's very predictable for sure.
Well, I spoke to Brett before the event, and due to the post office being post office-y, decided not to deliver his package containing his Athena to him, and the stuff he needed to build his Athena deck. So my understanding was he had intended to play Athena, which I think is pretty gutsy in the Spine Sweep meta.
How many spine sweeps were there in top 8, though?
I want to say 1.
There was one.
Exactly 1.
Exactly. Exactly one copy.
Exactly one copy.
And I'm not going to say that Brett Hellman is trying to beat me or anything, but I wonder if it's a coincidence that his first choice was my deck from Worlds and his second choice was my deck from Poughkeepsie PTC.
Everybody wants to be you, Kevin Broberg.
I certainly want to be me.
Men want to be you. Women want to be with you. No.
So people are just going to start taking photos of themselves in fireplaces, drinking water.
I certainly hope so. I would love to start a movement. And
Be your own
I still
meme?
need to talk to Shane Duckworth about getting more of that playmat printed so that I can give them away to people.
So I think that's all we really want to talk about the PTC. Let's go into Spoiler City.
Yeah. First, let's start off with the card that we showed off on Total Justice Gaming last week. Cadenza! The Clockwork Shot robot that's the president's favorite character.
I love 6-check, like 6-check plus mechanics. That's really cool. I think that's fun.
Yeah, let's read him for people who might just be
Oh
listening.
yeah.
So he's a 5/30 with Earth, Fire, and Void. Your foundations cannot be committed by your opponent's effects. I was going to say his opponents couldn't be committed by foundations effects. And then he has an R6+. After your opponent plays a non-attack card, they discard a card.
Savage.
So if you played way back in the day, you might recognize this ability as Calm Mind, which is a 3/4 no block foundation. So you can get multiples out of that, so it's a bit more insane. But this ability is rather decent.
I think it's going to be really helpful for him being able to keep up as a 5-hand size. We've talked about on the show before where a 5-hander needs to have something that helps him beat being a 5-hand size. We had that with Goro and Clark, who get to draw cards, granted under specific circumstances, but it lets them add to their hand size so their opponent can get a million miles ahead of him.
Yeah, at the end of the day, card advantage is still sort of king of every card game. And this character this is a 5-hand size that plays a much different kind of card advantage than most other characters.
Right, instead of adding more cards to his hand, he takes away his opponent's options.
Yeah. You almost turn them into a 5-hander when they try to build.
If you can pass 2 6+.
Yeah, but if they're building, I'm fine with that.
The big question for me with the big kind of thing I'm wondering about when I play against Cadenza is how often am I comfortable going to 0 cards in hand, and like what can I do to build my deck in a way that can do that more readily, and then try to still play my hand size. Like if I'm a 7-hander and I want to build 4, you pretty much have to go to 0 cards if he has like a quarter of 6-checks in his deck, and has some foundations ready to tap past that 6+ on checking a 5.
And he has a lot of 6-check options on Void, particularly in Bishamon's support. He has access to 2 assets with 6 checks.
Yep, and I counted about 5 on each symbol of just 6-check foundations regardless of their ability. Which some of them are pretty bad, honestly, but
he also has the option just to run character cards in his deck.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you really need to go that far into it. I mean, just checking a 5 and committing 1
That's
would be
reasonable.
perfectly fine. Because also, you have to remember that static makes it so your opponent can't commit your stuff at all. So you can play a firewall deck, and they can't shut off your DR cards. And you could just, any unused DR cards you turn into basically, unless you check poorly,
Being your opponent's hand.
yeah. Like, they talk about, like, the biggest thing people talk about for the Wallbuster cards is basically being Called the Storm, with turning that into a stun 8, and he doesn't care about that. And both of his abilities are solidly built to be a wall deck. I
I mean, that's a good thought.
mean,
But
he's a 5-hander.
well, the thing that Cadenza is actually really bad if you just hit him. Like if you're a deck like Felicia or I'm trying to think of something else who just really loves. If you play a Valiant Assault deck, where attacking is very good.
Lord Raptor.
Lord Raptor, sure, yeah. Like Lord Raptor just like slamming you with Hell Dunks. It's like sideboard with 4 Hell Dunks, just Hell Dunk you every turn. It's gonna grind him away, and he's not going to his abilities won't do anything if you're just trying to say, you have to play the cards in your hand as blocks if you're gonna defend yourself at all.
And for a 5-hander, 30 is not a lot to count to playing against a 5-hand size character.
It's not an unusually high amount.
I mean, we've had a 6-hander in Standard right now who gets to that amount. Or did we ban her?
Vesperia is certainly not legal, if that's what you're talking about.
I was like,
Well,
we
I
have some
remember we-
629s.
I feel like we banned a bunch of her support, and I couldn't remember if we banned her herself.
Oh yeah, I know. Like, people aren't getting kersplatted by Vesperia. Let me tell you
Oh,
that.
that'd be so
so good.
amazing.
I would off-symbol Robot Masters get my kersplats on one. It'd be great.
One of the people in the chat reminded us that Bishamon is a
Oh yeah,
630.
Bishamon's 630. Yep, there you go. I feel like he's the highest number though.
And then our other
fives.
five-handers is Cossacks 31, Skullman's at 31, 32?
32.
30,
actually.
32.
It's not 33.
Clark's at
34.
34.
Gore's
Gore's
35.
35.
Yeah, so I mean, as far as
J-Ray's
five
32, I think.
as far as five-handers, he doesn't have that big of a booty.
Mhm.
But also not getting his stuff committed gives him a lot more options to just wall up behind a defensive wall.
And like one of the things people talk about is character cards in this deck, in this character rather, and like when you have to make all these 6+ checks, you want to play a relative like you that pushes you to want to play a lower attack count, and so that's why I think that the really interesting question is how do people build their cadenza decks to take advantage of opponents who are on 0 cards, and how much risk are they willing to accept when they want to stay above 0 cards themselves? Because if you have 5 cards off the top, odds are pretty good you're not going to draw 3 attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Odds are actually very bad that you will draw 3 attacks. And he doesn't have any inherent offensive abilities, so the limit of how much his opponents are willing to push themselves to say, yeah, I'm right here, hit me, that's going to be the big question with this character, I think.
Just play some throws and killing dinosaurs. Call it a day.
Apparently, we forgot about Gutsman, who has 32. Unfortunately, Gutsman is not so great against this guy.
Yeah, I don't want to play that matchup.
No.
Maybe I'll switch to Dimitri and commit a Staging Error that way.
By turning it all face
Yeah.
down. Any other thoughts on Cadenza?
Nope.
Next.
I don't even know the order I put these in. Hand the puppet!
Hand jobs!
Uh,
So,
well, that shows the rating of this show.
I mean, I do lots of jobs with my hands. You know, I got screwdrivers and wrenches. I can change my own oil.
Do you want to get that Kabonk action going on, Charlotte Bryan?
I mean,
Kabonk or Kaboink?
with my hands, I can change a tire, and now I have a rim job too. All right, head puppets.
We're adults.
It's a 2/5 with a +2 high block foundation. Chaos, order, water. E-commit, your attack with a printed damage of 2 gets +3 damage. And E-commit, your attack with a printed damage of 3 gets +2 damage.
Billy, go.
This card is not swell, I think. I'm not super plus by this card, and it's not great in Billy, let me tell you that. It's not what I want to do in Billy at all.
Does it fit better in Lilith, do you think?
Yeah.
Oh, it fits great in Lilith. So the thing that strikes me with this card is that this ability, like the +3 damage if your attack's printed 2, that ability isn't outstanding. Like, it sounds like, great, yeah, I'm going to deal 5 damage, but how many people have played Pursuit of Dr. Wily recently? Which is the same effect once it's in play. It's just commit 3 damage to your ranged attack.
Mm-hmm.
And that hasn't seen a ton of play. I think that ability is good, but it's not, like, world-changing. It's not like, build a deck around me. It's a playable you keep in your back pocket.
Well, clearly why it hasn't seen any play is you can't play it with Kuga. This card you can play with Kuga. So now your 4-speed high for 2 is a 4-speed high for 5, and your opponent can't reduce the speed.
Yeah, you can start stacking up some damage chumps on that kind of card. I think Rolling Uppercut's another good example.
Mhm.
Or cards like Spregio, just tiny reversals, where you can force your opponent to block or take a ton of damage, and then untap it, and then use it again on your turn. That's really the place you want to be with this kind of effect.
Spregio and Skullberry really like this card.
Like, it's the fact that I also like that because it's worded with it saying printed damage. So if you get multiple copies out, it gets really good.
Yeah,
it
'cause-
does.
Well, it says
Your attack with
multiple
printed damage
copies
of
of
2.
hand puppets.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
So
So
if you got-
when you said multiple copy, I thought of
No.
multiple copies like I have a
No.
Hurricane Upper and it's multiple too.
No, I meant
Yeah,
the multiple
yeah, yeah.
multiples
Yeah,
not
yeah.
plant.
So
Yeah,
I mean,
you can have an 8 damage Kugo with just 2 foundations.
yeah, that's pretty good. Lilith is going to be really happy to play this card. I think
Yeah.
that is the big target for it.
Definitely.
Now, this is one of the rares in the set.
Yep.
And we're still waiting to find out. I don't think anything's been really spoiled as to how how all the numbers are going to work. We've got our guesses, but we haven't got confirmation.
We've gotten enough cards spoiled that me and Rob Snyder, we're pretty much got it locked down. each character, each deck is going to come with the 2 characters,
Hmm.
and they've more or less been revealed on which each one's going to be in which. Eligor's the one we're not sure on, but it probably should be Runica, as long as they kept her.
Hmm.
All the starter exclusive cards that are numbered within them are for each of the 2 characters. The secondary character sharing 2 symbols.
Right.
And then mixed in with them are rares that seem to be on symbol
Hmm.
with them, but don't actually go with any of the characters. Like there's that Kalistar rare foundation, Heart of Flame.
That's a real departure from their previous numbering scheme when it came to things with starter decks.
Yeah.
Usually, like with the tins, the starter deck cards were the lower numbers in the set, and then the random commons, uncommons, and rares for like the Robot Masters were all at the upper end.
Yeah, it seems to be just like the ones that go well with the decks
Mhm.
are up with it. So I'm wondering if that's like their idea of trying to suggest to players, hey, if you get these, put these in these decks.
Well, they are intended for turbo play.
Mhm.
Hopefully, is a format that gets supported soon, since we're releasing turbo decks.
And then we did the math on it, I think. So like the last 23 odd cards in the set or so are just going to be random rares with random affiliation like this.
Hand jobs.
I just want to say, because I didn't say this before, I absolutely love the art and this, like the little story behind this card.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's the best thing for competitive play.
Moving on.
Next card. Click.
Click.
Come on. Schecter!
Schecter.
Can I read her?
Go ahead.
Alright, so she's a 7/19 with Chaos, Evil, and Fire. So go grab your Chasm Busters.
Chasm Buster.
E, destroy 1 foundation. Your next mid attack this turn gets -1 difficulty and +2 damage. E, commit. Your mid attack gets +1 speed for each attack in your card pool. The speed of this attack cannot be reduced. So, good
By
thing.
effects.
By effects.
Costs
Costs.
are good.
Yes. So, two main things about her. One, she seems to be very focused on playing mids, which mids have been historically not the greatest, but she definitely seems to be incentivizing, very good incentivization for playing mids, especially with that E commit. You're going to make one probably hit by pumping the speed, and they can't reduce the speed on it.
See, but you've fallen into a trap. You see, it doesn't say for each mid attack in your card pool.
It's any attack.
Any attack. So there's nothing stopping you from playing like Flash Lightning, Shield Ram.
Yeah,
and
like
doing
Shield
that
Ram should definitely be played.
nonsense, and then you get a bunch of cards in your card pool. Like you get a couple Flash Lightnings that your opponent decided to eat,
Mhm.
and then it's like, well, here's a Chasm Buster to end my turn. That it's going to ignore progressive difficulty, and if you use her Enhance, gets even easier.
Yeah. And what you could do if you keep on playing off-zone cards is you could keep on doing that Enhance on like all your Shield Rams, and then make your Chasm Buster cost like nothing to pass, and it's like +8 damage.
Oh man, what's a really big mid attack?
Beautiful memory.
Dragon Cannon.
Bigger.
Beautiful memory.
You can't get bigger than Dragon Cannon.
Beautiful
Phoenix
memory is
Revival.
bigger than Dragon Cannon.
What is Beautiful Memory?
If you're it's 5 and 5. If it's at 10 damage, you commit a card in their staging area. And combo mid low. If any of your attacks dealt double their printed damage, it gets plus that much damage.
Okay.
Double the printed damage. So if you land a 6 damage Flash Lightning, such as maybe you did Hurry on it, then you play a low attack, then you play Beautiful Memory. That starts out as a 15 damage attack.
Oh, see, I was thinking like high difficulty mid zone
Oh,
attacks.
okay. Big Bang Strike.
Big Bang Strike.
I mean, you can't get much harder than 6 difficulty. So
Did they ban Eradicate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
character
Oh,
only. What are you
gosh.
talking? What?
so yes.
What are you even talking about? It's not even mid.
Doesn't Dr. Wily have a big mid zone move?
He has like a 5 mid,
It's a high.
5 difficulty.
Isn't Gamma Crush is a low?
Yeah.
Yeah. He has
Oh.
7 diff low, a 6 diff high, and like a couple 5 diff mids.
He can get really cheap guts cannons at 0 speed.
Yeah. 8
You
damage
can
difference.
keep on doing this Enhance on your opponent's attacks, and then play a really easy to pass Navos.
Ooh.
And then use that Enhance, that way they can't dust in the wind or anything to reduce its speed.
Ding.
I like Navos.
Good plays.
Oh,
Neo-Freeze
Neo-Freeze.
Execution. There we go.
that's a thing.
She presents an interesting deck building challenge with how much you want to play off zones, because stacking up +2 damage is, I think, arguably better than stacking up or just doing +2 damage to all of your attacks. But then you have to run the risk of, what if I don't draw a mid, or what if I only draw flash lightnings and they don't ever get enough speed to matter?
Like, she'll be definitely, I think, if her support keeps on at the power level of her character card, she'll be a very strong deck.
Speaking of her support, is that our next spoil card?
Yep, her asset.
Let's bring it up.
Yeah.
This card I was super excited
card's
about.
exciting.
Claws of Malphase, or Mayonnaise.
It's a 3/5 asset with a +2 mid block. With Chaos, Evil, and Fire, it's unique. F commit, add 1 mid attack from your discard pile to your card pool. R, once per enhanced step, : after one of your foundations is destroyed, this attack gets +2 or -2 damage.
When I first read this card, I thought that R said once per turn. My brain decided to
Who-
just fill that in.
Who didn't?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Once I saw enhanced step, I'm like, Wiley.
those brackets seem really long.
Yeah.
So the part about this card that really excites me is an underplayed rare from King of Fighters 13, and that's Deicide. F commit.
Oh, you want to do the F?
F commit, beat your combo restriction. Always, because that's what Deicide does.
I think the form on this card is going to be limited to basically Deicide and maybe Flash Lightning in exactly Schecter, because like it's not really like that. That's the tangential reason you put in this deck. You're using the whole Buffalo just because you have it, and you might as well. That R is where the money is.
Yeah.
Very clearly.
I want to play that in Wiley.
Dr. Wily likes that card.
Yeah, anyone who can destroy a foundation on command is just completely in love with this ability. This ability is absolutely worth a 3 difficulty asset, even in a world with Spine Sweep.
Wiley can't destroy stuff on command. He just really likes blowing them up.
Well, the current Wily.
Yeah, I guess there's another Wiley coming out.
Well, one of the cards that was spoiled didn't have this thing where it destroyed itself for good things to happen.
I'm sure it did.
There's a couple
It's
of
a long
things.
time ago.
There's all of Wiley's stuff blew stuff up for good things.
I mean, even just in our card pool right now, like having this card in play and having a copy of Double Crosser in your staging area, you can destroy foundation on your opponent's attacks to give your attack +1 damage and their attack -2 damage.
Yep.
And like, yeah, that's not a great rate. That's not exciting. That's just a 0 if you have in your deck anyway.
Better value.
And now we're getting Cutting Edge going. Cutting Edge is a broken card.
Did
Young-
they spoil Wily 2 Dot?
Yeah, we did a while ago.
I forgot.
It was in
Yeah.
Worlds.
Does Young Mercenary work on your opponent's turn? I don't
It's
play that
only
card.
playable during your attack.
Okay,
Yeah, no, shut up. God,
I don't play that card, so
yeah, you should.
You
It's
should.
broken.
You should with this card.
Yeah, that and this card is gross.
Yeah.
You can also play this card with the Forester. It's pretty cool.
Yes, you can.
Oh, yeah, the Forester does have fire.
Yeah, the only other DeForester deck I've seen in a top 8 was actually a Fire Scorpion deck with DeForester and like tons of homemade explosives and stuff.
Fire Scorpion.
Did you not see that deck? It was like 2 months ago.
No.
It was great. It was the Lubbock PTC, I think.
So yeah, this card I think is off the hook. I'm really excited. But I think
I also really love the art on it.
it's good art, and I think that F's going to be playable outside of her playing Deicide.
I mean, you can do some cool stuff.
I mean, we were just talking about how difficult it could be to get the combo condition on Neofreeze Execution.
I mean, how many of you guys have played Destined Warrior in your life? Because that ability is just Destined Warrior.
Is that from Neomax?
Yeah.
Well, nobody's played it because it's from Neomax.
Yeah.
It's Kios Foundation. It says E destroy. Add an attack from your discard pile to your card pool. At the end of the turn, add your momentum.
Well, that's
I've
too
used-
that's too expensive.
I've played Destined Warrior for its other effect. After attack gets a speed bonus, -2 damage.
Destined Warrior is one of my pet cards, so it's really good.
Moving on. Spoiler City. This
Reckless
card has
Charge.
a panda bear on it.
Yep,
Yo,
she is
Panda.
one of the fan favorites from
Panda attack.
from BattleCon.
So, 4 difficulty, 3 control check attack, 4 mid for 4, chaos, fire, water, charge, combo mid attack. Combo E, choose one of your opponent's foundations. It doesn't ready during their next ready step. My God, do I miss Roy.
Nope.
You want to play Argentine Backbreaker into this card? Lock down 2 of their cards?
Oh my God.
Not with Roy, you can't, because they don't have a chance fire. But yeah, how about head crush into this attack? I think that's where I'm interested. That's where I
Yeah.
sign on.
Yeah.
Because you only have to play one of this shitty no block to set that up.
What I like in this is it's a fire-water attack with 4 damage. So it fills a bunch of my criteria for a Hikaru deck. where you can. It's 4 damage for Robot Masters, and it's fire and water. So after you activate Robot Masters, it turns into a pretty much stun 5 move.
It's no cascading fear because that also has the magic reversal keyword to go with your Sun 5.
Yeah.
But it's nice. I won't take that away from you.
Yeah.
It is nice.
Like it's more options for that deck, depending on ways you are. Like I like that Tatsumi, they changed her symbols from the original promo that we spoiled that wasn't actually real.
So why are you talking about cards that aren't real, man?
Don't talk about cards that aren't real.
Yeah, but the point is that they changed.
We don't do that on this
They
show.
changed her symbols.
We don't do that on this show.
They changed her symbols, and I like it.
Changed what symbols? Those are just the symbols.
Hush.
The thing I really like about this card more than anything is the art.
Yes.
Yeah, it's great.
All of Nokomento's art is awesome.
Just to bring up one last thing on this card is that it's a combo attack with Chaos and Water. Sebastian likes that.
Yeah.
Puron's fighting style likes that.
I
got
didn't
some
think
legs.
about Sebastian.
Yeah, you forgot all about him.
Yeah,
He was-
he's
he was
over
your-
there in a pile.
He was your boy for like 3 weeks, and you just left him in a pile like fucking.
They
Woody.
rotated Red Horizon back in, and
all these new
I
cards.
got
with
conflicted.
combo
Didn't give us the
keywords.
good Sebastian back.
Anyway, we're moving on. Let's move on.
why does that say charge instead of ranged?
Because
Shut
not
up.
everything can combo with Shield Ram.
Yes, it can. We're living in the era of Mega Man. Everything combos with that card. And here's our new card for a day. Admonition. No one wants
Well,
to
while they're
see this.
arguing, it's a 0/6 foundation, +1 mid block with all good in order. After you block a mid attack with this card, it still deals half damage rounded up.
So you
So it
always
makes-
half block.
It makes everything a throw.
It makes it so you always half block. So this tells us that Eligor is potentially gonna
He
want to
either
do
likes
something.
getting poked in the eye or likes half blocking.
Yeah.
But time will tell.
Yep.
Maybe he's got some.
Although this doesn't count as a half block. It still just deals.
Yeah,
half
you're still
damage.
full block.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
So,
but maybe he wants to
maybe
take
that's what
damage
Maybe he just wants to have 0/6s in his deck.
that have
like-
bad abilities.
Hutzel would play this card for days.
If he wasn't banned,
Hutzel played Hizoku Prince because I told Giggles to play it, and it was a good idea.
If only they shared symbols with him.
Hey man, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do.
I definitely going to be playing 4x of this in my Ryu decks.
you check 6s.
It's I have 6 checks in there that do nothing for the deck. I was running Merciless. This has a +1 mid block, and so I'm going to love this card.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times, like, you just play mid blocks, and no one plays mid attacks because they're terrible, so it's as good as any other mid block.
Yeah.
Which is not very, but, you know, it's got text. It's got ability.
If only it let me draw 2 cards and gain 2 life.
Then it'd be a real card, but it's not.
Moving on.
But hey, you
I think-
can't play that card as a form, either. So
And this next card is our super special card we got today.
We got a super special card
that's,
today.
that's the end of the previously viewed spoilers.
Yes.
Oh yes.
We have a Top Deck Heroes exclusive for you tonight.
So
Drum roll.
not yet.
Oh,
Let's talk about the 2K first.
okay.
Let's talk
I care about cards. He cares about tournaments.
Let's talk about the 2K coming up here in about 4.5 weeks, actually, out at Level Up Con in Las Vegas. It's going to be a 2K cash 2K. So you win, I give you money. If you don't win, I give you less money. You just give me money. We're really excited to go. Jesse and I are making the trip across country. You know Jesse from the other show that goes on Thursday nights, Total Justice Gaming. He's been on our show a couple of times as a guest host. And we're going to have a lot of fun. Hopefully we have a great turnout. After you pay for your con entry, the event is only $5. So that's a really cheap event to get into with the potential of a really good payout. Now, I've heard, though, I've gotten some responses on the roll call thread, and Garrett and his butler are coming down for the event. I don't think it's fair to call him his butler anymore.
Yeah, dude, that
He
guy's-
won his own
That
cards.
guy's a world.
He's
team
his
champion.
own person.
And
So-
I don't know about you guys, but being a world team champion is a pretty big deal. Matthews, you were almost a world team champion once, right?
Yeah. Don't remind me.
I mean, I've been a national champion twice. Is that like being the world champion?
I mean, you're the
I
national
won the
champion-
Wild West
If
shootout.
you're the national champion of the greatest country on earth, that's like at least like a third or half as good as being the world champion. I mean, the uncontested world champion is it's really a thrill to be.
So
But America's great too, so American national champion I'll take.
So speaking of that, we got some good contenders coming. It's not going to be a cakewalk for Kevin Broberg to take $2,000 of my dollars. So I'd like it if someone else could win it, but we'll see.
I mean,
Hughes, why don't you win it?
put me in your trunk and drag me along.
I think
We won't
that
have room.
might be a questionable legal tactic.
My car doesn't have a trunk.
That too.
So if you're going, please post on the roll call. Right now we're trying to finalize some prize support with Jasco Games. We already looked at the playmat a couple weeks ago that you get just for showing up. And now, to make Hughes happy, we're going to show you the other prize you get just for coming to the event.
Another 8-bit!
8-bit Knidget Man.
This guy didn't get spoiled before, people.
No, he's brandy dandy new.
So why don't you read that character off for everyone who's listening and or can't understand what those resource symbols are?
Okay, so Nightman is a character card. I think that first symbol is the death symbol.
It's Death, Earth, and
Earth
Order.
in order. F once per turn. Your next slam or weapon attack this turn gets plus X damage. X equals the highest printed difficulty on a card in your opponent's card pool. He likes doing reversals, I'm guessing. Except, you read his second ability. Archimeda Foundation. After you block an attack, that attack does not clear from your opponent's card pool during the end phase. That ability is a dickings.
Yeah, poking this guy isn't the best plan. You're guaranteed not to get momentum if he does that RDU, even if it's a throw or it's a half block. And then you have that card stuck in your pool, so it's like he gets +1 speed to all of his attacks. Once he's done that, and he gets that form going off too for free.
Well, what he's going to be really good at is those decks who like to attack once just to poke you. He's going to deny you that momentum.
Yeah.
That's going to sit in your card pool, and it's going to finally get discarded on his next turn. Oh, and I forgot to mention, he's 6 hand size, 28 vitality, so he's fairly beefy, too. And he's in all of his 8-bit glory. I'm really interested to see what his support does, but I don't think any of it got other than
His Flail and Shield.
his flail and
like,
shield work.
and his Foundation that turns off damage pumps, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, wasn't Flail and Shield like if this hits, you keep a card in your opponent's card pool? think.
Something like that.
Something like that.
It had 2 abilities. I could look them up so we can read them.
So it seems like his thing might be just flooding your opponent's card pool, which is a disaster if you need to keep your card pool clear.
Sure.
Bear with us just a minute. We're bringing up the Flail and Shield. For those of you who don't remember, it's a weapon asset, 1/5 with a +1 mid block that matches his symbols. F commit, your opponent adds the top card of their deck to their momentum. Choose one of their momentum and add it to their card pool face up.
So this sets up his ability pretty nicely. If you manage to sneak in a momentum with, say, a Dragon Cannon or something he doesn't want to block.
A Murakumo.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, he can then put that 6 difficulty into your card pool face up.
Mm.
And God forbid you're off symboling for something.
Oh, that's rough. And then it had Nightman R. Well, it's in the card pool. After you block with this card, discard all cards played as blocks from your card pool and draw a card.
Yeah, so for Nightman himself, this is on top of being a synergy piece with his form, his own form, and his other abilities. It's a 1/5 asset that's also sort of a Templar.
That
Yeah.
+1 mid block.
Yeah.
And it lets you keep blocking.
And then, we also got an attack, too. I forgot
Oh,
about.
yes, his Flail Strike, 4/3, too high for 4 with a +1 mid block.
All those mid blocks.
Reversal Weapon. If this attack is not blocked, choose a card in your opponent's card pool. It does not clear from their card pool during the end phase.
Ooh.
Yeah, I remember this card because I remember but now with Nightman, it has a completely different meaning. In a character like, I don't know, Mega Man or something, or Bishamon, he goes block reversal. If you don't block this, your card gets stuck in your pool, and then it's not going to go to momentum, and it's going to be in there for my turn where I can attack you, and it's constant progressive difficulty. For Nightman, the reversal is much less relevant because you just play its response to keep the card in the pool. But on his turn, when he's not playing his reversal, that card that got locked in on your turn, now he can have it locked in for another turn and add one to basically Hanya you at the start of your own turn, the subsequent turn, when you want to play some forms.
What this can also do is, if it's not blocked, maybe there was a card that his ability didn't go off on. He can now lock that card too.
Yeah.
I think we had one more Nightman card to review.
Yep. For Chivalry and Honor.
The 2/4 no block foundation that says our flip, after your opponent plays an attack, its damage cannot be modified. Up or down.
Yep. So this is a bit of a different kind of card. It's kind of a here's a thing to here's a control piece of sorts. Maybe it doesn't tie into Nightman's themes.
I want to
Yeah.
respond to all the
Capital.
Nevoses with that.
Yep.
So, I'm pretty excited. Now, I spoke to those boys over at the Jasco office, and they did report to me that he would not become legal until Battle for Power came out. So he's
Yep.
mostly a collection piece for the time being, but it's pretty much only going to be available at the 2K in Las Vegas. So, if the Bitchin' Playmat and this aren't enough to get you out to Las Vegas, I don't know what is.
Well,
other than
it's
free
the
play
$2,000?
tickets.
The
Oh, and the
$2,000,
$2,000.
That might be a little bit of a thing. A lot of people are just like, screw the $2,000. I want that playmat.
That playmat is pretty cool. Do we
Hey,
still have
man.
that available for viewing?
Yes, we do.
I'll just let you know that if you win the 2K and you just want more playmats, I will ship you out my playmat for less than $2,000.
I also
I'm not
know
saying how much.
there is a
it is.
long list of people that are not going to be able to make it that want that playmat.
So you could potentially, if you don't want this playmat, make a fair bit of money just selling this to people who really like booty butt cheeks.
But why would you want to get rid of this playmat?
Because you're dumb.
I want this playmat.
Because you hate booties, butt cheeks, and bikinis?
Bikinis. I still can never get over on this card how Miska's bikini bottom has a belt.
I didn't even realize that. Why?
Hey man, when you're committed, you're committed.
So, as far as upcoming events goes, I believe we've got another PTC coming up towards the end of this month out at Omaha.
Yep.
And then the most
Okay.
the 2K, which is the most important event of all.
I
Love
don't
to
know.
see
What about our PTC?
The most important event of all.
Oh.
I mean, the PTC is going to be a lot of fun, and those of you who live near Rochester, please show up and play. But the 2K is going to be the most fun.
But I
So
won't
do we have
do that.
dates on these, by the way? Or we're just doing this impromptu, I
We're
guess.
doing this
We don't
impromptu. I don't have a schedule, so I don't
dates.
remember when these
Yeah.
things are. I think the last weekend of the month, the 30th
Yeah, it's
and the
it's
1st.
yeah,
is-
30th and 1st.
is
For
the
the
And
Omaha.
Omaha
14th to
PTC,
15th
and the
for
14th
your
and 15th
2K.
of May for the 2K.
And it's
and-
not too late to get plane tickets.
Yeah.
Because I know
Sure
Kevin
hope not.
Broberg hasn't gotten his yet, so you better hope he can still get them.
I mean, worst case, I lost $50.
You lost $50. Why? Because you got to pay
If I
more?
have to pay like $380 instead of $330.
$600.
$600. Those of us out there who are watching who've won a PTC should use their PTC ticket to come to the 2K.
That's a great idea.
I mean, it's a bigger prize than anything else in UFS so far. I mean, unless you like win the greatest prize in gaming and find a way to sell your 100 copies of it for $20 a piece.
You mean like West Victory tried to?
West Victory. Gentlemen, do we really have anything else to discuss tonight?
Not too much tonight.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Unless I can plug for my review of this, I'm going to do.
So Hugh's got this bad game in today.
It's an awesome game. It's
It's-
called Millennium Blades. It's by the guy that is bringing us Indies, Balcon. And hi, Sean. It's a board game that simulates the card game experience. So basically, you go through, you play in a pre-release, you have a deck of cards, and then after you're done playing, yes, give this game a thumbs up. After you go through playing the tournament, you have a phase where you're buying and selling to stores and players and collecting and then making your new deck for the next tournament.
This game sounds awful. It sounds like my job.
What?
Why would I go to work? Awful.
You don't play as the market. You could try to win at the market, though, because there's different ways to win. You win by how well you did in the tournaments, how much money you made selling your cards, how many collections you made and turned in, and how many friendship points you got from helping out friends.
I don't do friendships.
Oh, okay.
Have you not seen Yu-Gi-Oh? Seto Kaiba is my hero.
But it's a really cool game. It has all these extras. Don't you dare rip up my Trunks. I bought that deck just to get Trunks cards. But my plan is to do a. I'm hoping to stream my first game of it after Total Justice Gaming tomorrow, and then we're gonna do a better looking review video, and hopefully have Brad come back on to do a special recording with talking about the game more in depth than we did last week.
All right, if that's it, gentlemen, let's call it a night. We will see you next week.
With more spoilers.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us.
Night,
See you
folks.
later.